The truth is real, faith and love, yeah.
In the building here in beautiful city of Virginia Beach, Virginia, SKST Radio Studios. You are, where are we at? Beyond the Vows.
Right. You gotta help him with
everything. I had a brain freeze. I was trying to see if my spouse was gonna come to my rescue, but you were slow. That's all right. But listen, welcome. This is Beyond the Vows. I'm your host, Dr. W.C. Brown, with my lovely wife,
Maria Brown.
And we got to do our disclaimer. We're not experts. We're just married. So, yes, but listen, and we have a special guest tonight. And you guys know we try to bring you some of the most well-rounded, authoritative, knowledgeable people everywhere, you know. So we got one tonight. So y'all better put your seatbelts on because y'all going to take a ride tonight because we've already took a ride. So I'm going to shout out our sponsor, deafchildhope.org, deafchild.hope. Remember, these kids, we're on a mission, right, baby? Mm-hmm. We're on a mission to get 1,000 children sponsored by the end of this year. These children are not only in poverty, but they are also deaf. And your sponsorship will allow them to be able to get out of poverty, maybe not totally, but at least give them an opportunity to be able to communicate.
That's important.
You know, because many of these kids have never communicated with anybody. And, you know, people are talking, some of them, they don't even know their own names or things like that. So deafchildhope.org, 1,000 kids, help us to help these kids. They're all over the country, okay, all over the world. And your support would be greatly appreciated, okay? And also, if you want to contact us, send us comments, questions. If you want to be a guest appearance on our show, you go to beyondthevows.skstTV@gmail.com. I did that good. I'm so proud of myself. I said that without even looking at the screen. Didn't I, baby? So, yeah. So how you doing?
How am I doing?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing.
Okay.
I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. Yeah. Anyway, listen, we're going to jump right in it. I had the awesome pleasure of having our guest on another show, my music video show on another network. Mm-hmm. And it was phenomenal. I got a chance to, and I use this word on another show, peruse through some of her writings. And let me tell you something, the titles are fire itself. And I'm already claiming her to be the next doctor. So tonight with us,
he did claim that.
We've got Dr. Deborah Blakey. Dr. Blakey.
Blakey.
I said Dr. Blakey. Yes. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
Uh-huh.
And I'm not a doctor.
Yes, you are. Name it and claim it.
I'm going to claim it because evidently I will be. So we claiming it now. But
that's
yes,
right.
I am Deborah Blakey.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. And so just tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I'm an author. I'm a transformational coach and speaker, mm-hmm. and also a leader. And my heart has always been to help women to move beyond what they've been through, mm-hmm. and get to that place that God created them to be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and that really helps. It's very appropriate with what you are bringing, especially when it comes into marriages. The people who've been through trauma, been through things like, just so many things. You wrote 4 books.
Yes.
You have 4 books. And the one that really, caught my attention was the recent one, was Through the Fire, Becoming Her. There was something that I read in there, and it was talking about healing. I think it was probably like chapter 59. It was on page 59. I remember that.
Chapter 59.
No,
I was about to say, I had him in chapter.
It was on page 59. That shows you I know where it is. Okay. And you said healing is not a destination, but a decision.
And I feel strongly about that because a lot of times people want us to heal from things. Like, for example, we go through something, everybody goes through different things, and everybody is different. So my time to heal is going to be different from your time to heal or your time to heal. So people think that, oh my God, I should be over this by now. No, it's not a destination at all.
Gotcha.
We have, I've been on a journey of healing since I was 13 years old, and I lost my mother. And I was literally 13 and shy, but I had to grow up. I had to learn how to be resilient. I had to learn how to lead a family. You know, at 13, I'm the oldest of 8 kids in my family, and we actually lived with my mother and grandmother. My grandmother got sick mentally and physically when my mom died. She was her only child. So I had to step up and step in and do what I had to do to help with the family. So that took a toll on me later on in life. So my healing has been a complete journey. And that's where the books are birthed from my own journey, because I know God called me to help women. There's some women I know He already prepared them for my voice. And for a long time, I didn't speak because fear stopped me being, I would say, we talk about marriage, right? I've been divorced 3 times, right? People judge that, right? So I was afraid for a long time to speak my truth. Once you get to a certain age, you're going to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And if you don't receive it, that's not my problem.
No, that's not going to tell the truth too.
That's not my problem. You know, but I always like to let my clients know, please give yourself grace. If you're not healed from that, you may have suppressed it and just let it go like I did when my mom passed. I suppressed all that hurt because I had to step in and help raise the family. That hurt came out in different ways through the years.
Yeah, and so you weren't really free to be a kid, you know, or experience those kind of kid things that, you know, the normal 13, 14, 15-year-old, you know, kid goes through, because you had to learn responsibility at a real early age.
And you really did get to mourn your mom.
That part.
Because that, to me, I mean, I know what it's like to lose a mom, but my mom, I mean, I was much older when my mom passed, so I could really relate to losing a parent, but at such a young age, because at 13, you're still at a very tender age, trying to grow, trying to learn what to do, what not to do, how to go about things. How did that affect you with raising your brothers and sisters? I know that was hard.
It was extremely hard. There's 8 of us on my mother's side, and there's 7 of us on my dad's side. not my biological dad. But the dad that was in the home. So the Deans and the Blakeys, we do not go by steps. We don't feel that we're step nothing. We are complete family. We together. We are still extremely close. Extremely close. When you grow up and you have each other, we were children raising children. So when my mom died, my 7 sisters and brothers on my Dean side, they didn't live with us at first. But we merged all together. And it was amazing. I tell everybody that they're my heroes. My brothers and my sisters are my heroes, because to this day, we will do anything for each other.
That's a blessing.
And we are extremely, extremely close.
Now, are you the oldest?
I'm the oldest of the Blakeys.
The Blakeys.
The Blakey side. And my mother and my grandmother raised us in a house on the Blakey side. So that's when I had to really step up. But I looked at my granddaughter. I was speaking. It was when I did Unraveled Threads, because I did a chapter in that book. And we had an event. And I was speaking, and my granddaughter was sitting there. And I just began to cry because I said, she's 13. That's when I was raising a child. And I looked at her and I said, she's a baby. right? But when you have to do what you have to do, you don't look at your age. You don't look at what's going on around you. You look at this. These are my brothers and sisters that I love so much, and I wanted to make my mom proud. Right. That was my why for a long time. You got to have a why if you want to keep going. You got to have a strong why if you're going to keep going. And my mother was my why for years. She's still my why, but my children became my why. My grandchildren. So I'll never stop. I guess I'm going to keep going till I say Dr. Deborah Blakey.
Yes.
And it's on paper.
That's right. It will be.
So which book was first?
It was Beautifully Broken. So Beautifully Broken was literally birthed out of my brokenness. And I was so broken and I was crying out to God. I'll never forget it. I was crying out to God. I'm like, why? I just kept saying, why? Why am I always the one getting hurt? Because my heart is for people. I love people. So why is it? What is it about me that I'm getting hurt? And God spoke to my heart and told me, because I felt ugly, and everything. God said, you may be broken, but there's beauty in your brokenness.
Wow.
And that's how Beautifully Broken was birthed.
Yeah, and you wrote to us that that we always remember that brokenness doesn't cancel beauty; it reveals it. How does it reveal it?
It reveals it through you continuing to move, to take that step. It takes one step to take your next step, to take your next step. So you didn't let those broken places stop you, right? You kept moving past what you've been through. So as you continue to move past what you've been through, your heart will heal, and then you start seeing yourself differently. I tell people all the time, the hardest person to forgive is yourself.
True.
Right?
Absolutely.
So the hardest person to give compliments is yourself. Right? And I know growing up, so I'm 67, right? So growing up, we thought taking care of ourselves was selfish. So, a lot of times we're pouring from empty cups because we're taking care of everybody else. That's what I was taught, to take care of people. So through my brokenness, beautifully broken, it began to reveal my heart, my inside, and how I cared for people. That was the beautiful part of it, that I didn't let it change my heart. Everything that I went through never changed my heart. And I know there's so many other women out there that what you're going through did not change your heart. It revealed your beauty.
Well, and sometimes people, in their continuing, are doing it to show other people that you're still strong, but never believe it. Something I saw that you wrote was not, I think it was something about either confidence or something. You didn't recognize it in your mind. Something that
Well,
you see it on the outside, but it doesn't resonate.
Well, what would happen is that people would see confidence in me. So I was a general store manager for Marshalls. I just retired in June, right?
Oh, wow.
So I'm the one that regional staff always called on to go to other stores to help them out, because I can go in a store and I can get the team to do whatever I needed them to do, that leadership influence, and everybody would look at me and be like, oh my gosh, she's so confident, right? But I wasn't. I was portraying confidence on the outside, but on the inside, I was scared to death because I was still going through my own fears. And in order for them not to see it, I put on that smile. I put on the confident act. Now I knew what I was doing in the job. I learned it well.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, the night before, I could have cried all night long, stayed up all night long. But when I walked in that door, you never knew that, because I walked in with confidence.
Now, I want to ask a question, because there are a lot of women out here that are going through many things. But how do they recognize that they're broken on the inside?
I think we know when we're broken. Mm-hmm. I don't think we know the extent of our brokenness. Mm-hmm. And here's why. We go through so much that we put a protective shield up. Mm. So for a long time, I put a shield around my heart. No one's getting in here. Mm-hmm. No one's getting in here because I don't want to feel that pain.
Right.
But I tell you how you know. It's triggers. Mm. Certain things is going to trigger you, and then you're going to be like, I'm not healed from that. You know, just like, let me say, in a relationship, you know, you're married, you get a divorce, and in your heart, you just know you over him. Mm-hmm. He could walk by me today and he'll be just like anybody else. Hey, what's up? Mm-hmm. But when he walked by and something triggered in that heart, or you see him or her with someone else, and something moves you, you're not healed. Wow. You're not healed.
Wow.
You still have that residue that you need to deal with. Right. Certain times you can react on something and then get home and say, why did I do that? What made me react like that? Mm-hmm. And you really got to research your heart at those times. You got to figure out what's wrong with you. Like, I tell my daughter all the time when she calls me, let's talk about you. Why did you feel that way when he said this? What made you feel that way? What made your whole body, mind, spirit change because of what he said? What is it in you? Because that's what we got to deal with it. What is it in us that we react that way? Mm. Because remember growing up, you guys will probably remember this, and we used to sing that song, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words would never hurt me." Right. That's a lie if I ever heard one. But look, did we believe it? We were proud to sing that song. Yeah. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. Right. Mm-hmm. Words hurt so much more. Yeah. They do. I'd rather you throw a stick at me. Yeah. You know?
At least I can dodge it.
Exactly. But those words go deep. Yeah. And if you decide, because we have decisions to make, if you decide that you're going to wear that, and you're going to let whatever he or she said to live in your head rent free, now that's our fault now. Mm-hmm. Right. That's our fault now.
Right.
Well, wow. I'm telling you, that's really, really deep, because and I even have some friends that are going through a lot of things and a lot of changes in their own life, or whether they're single or married, and it gets hard sometimes, because I always tell women, God has made us to carry a lot of stuff, and it's not easily to let it go.
Absolutely.
You know, because you have a responsibility, especially if you have children. Right. You have a responsibility because you owe it to them.
Yes.
To be the best that you can be for them, whether you're married or single, to provide for them, to nurture them, to be their example, because they're watching you.
Yeah, absolutely.
On every level. And I think it was something that I was reading. I think it was at the beginning of, I think it was this one, of this book, when you were talking about how you dedicated the book to your children. And that resonated with me, because when I was divorced the first time, and I just felt like I was such a bad mom, because I've never ever thought of not being married to somebody else. You understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I always thought of, okay, this is going to be us until we get old and gray, and we're going to raise y'all. We're going to do this. You know, we're going to do this with you, you know, and all this other stuff. It did not end up that way. And I felt like I was the worst mom ever, you know, in the world. And then I find myself questioning, am I a good mom? You know, or saying this or saying that to them. And I ask them all the time, what makes me, well, no, how do you feel about me? Because even after all of this is going on, because now they had nothing to do with it.
Right.
You know, it wasn't about them. It was about their dad and I, you know, and it just did not work out. So what can you tell moms, you know, like myself, you know, because now my children are older and now their journey to new beginnings is about to take place. I got two that's about to get married next year, right? So
congratulations on that.
Thank you. I'm so excited, but I still, you know, I still ask them, y'all, I want to be their example. You know, even though I got married a second time, I still want to be their example.
And you
know
are.
what I mean?
You are. You're being hard on yourself when you don't have to be.
True.
So just like I said in the book, and I told my children, I may not have been the perfect mom, but I loved you perfectly.
Right.
Because everything I did, whether it was right, wrong, or indifferent, I did for you. I did because I love you. Like I carried a lot of guilt because I worked 2 jobs to take care of my children, so I wasn't home a lot when they were growing up. I worked 2 jobs, and not only that, then I had a sidekick job, you know, a network marketing as well, because at the time their father wasn't taking care of them. A shout out to him, he's doing everything he needs to do at this point. At the time, he was not. So I had to do what I had to do to make sure my children had everything they needed, and I wasn't there for them a lot. But what I did to answer that question, because all my children are grown, we had a conversation, and I told them, if there's anything that you need to talk to me about growing up that I did that you really are carrying right now, we need to talk about it.
Yeah.
I said, because the bottom line is, if you carry that, it's going to hinder God's purpose and plan for your life, because there's unforgiveness in that. Right. So if we're holding on to any type of hurt, there's unforgiveness in that place. There is no freedom like the freedom of knowing that you have forgiven who hurt you.
Right.
You have forgiven yourself. And God said he forgave us and threw it in the sea of forgetfulness. So that's where I threw it.
Right.
If God can do it, and he's our leader, that's what we need to do. But we have to have the conversation. We have to have the hard conversations, and then we have to be able to take it.
See, that right there, because some people just can't take it. And they don't want to go there, but you have to. If you don't go there, then guess what? The person that was hurt is never going to heal, because the person that hurt them don't want to go there.
Don't want to go there.
And it's important.
It is.
It's so important. Like my daughter is a licensed clinical social worker, and she deals with people with different issues or whatever. And it's so amazing that now that she's older, and sometimes when I'm going through stuff, she'll come to me and say, Mom, la 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 la, and it makes me feel like she really care about me mentally. Y'all don't know what that does so much to me, because she said, Mom, I think that we need to have this conversation. And I'm like, oh my God. I see something in her. I'm like, oh boy.
She's a communicator.
Yeah, and I love that.
She's a communicator.
I love that. And even when she is upset, she'll just say, Mom, right now I just can't talk. Give me some time and I'll come back to you. That's awesome. And I love that about her, and I love that she feels so free to come. But that's a reflection on you. To me. And you know what? And I'm so grateful to God for that, because even like I told him, even when when I got the divorce, that my door is always open. I would never close it to you, never, and even now, they'll call me, especially my second oldest son. He'll call and we would talk for hours. I think he knows me, and he recognizes, and he's so sensitive to me, and it's amazing how he picks me up, and I'm like, how do you know
awesome.
that?
Yeah, he does.
I love that.
It's so wonderful. But I always that was just something in me, I guess, that I wanted just to say, because when you said all that, those are the same words that I shared with my own kids when I was going through that. And it's like the kids don't ask to be here. They don't ask to come, but they're here. And because they're here, it's my job and my responsibility to take care of them, to look after them, to be their example, you know? So,
and I was on that side. When you Google something, you see somebody's picture. If you were to Google not wanting to hear the truth, you would see my picture.
Okay.
Because like I said, we're very transparent on our show. I have several baby mamas, as this is what you want to call it. And to know how it affected my kids. I have one daughter who don't even want nothing to do with me. And that hurts. She has a conversation, with the other kids, and when they always want to do things with their mom, mom this, mom that. I invite them over for Thanksgiving or Christmas. I said, what y'all doing? Well, we going to mom's. Never gonna come in. And when I saw my bonus kids, how they gravitate to my wife, I was like, man, I just wish mine would do that, and then I tried to, and it's still work in progress, get over that total fear of how disappointed they may have been in me to have other kids, while married to their mom, or, they had to keep getting used to a stepmom and all that kind of stuff. And it just, how do you prepare to receive what's going to be hurtful but helpful?
I believe that anytime we reach out to our children and we want them to tell us the truth on how it affected them with us not being there, you can't totally prepare for what they're going to say because you don't know what they're going to say. But what you could do is ask God to give you the strength not to interrupt them at all. Let them speak their heart. Right? Don't make up excuses for why. Don't do any of that. And then what you got to tell yourself, the way God told me when I didn't want to write the book and he told me it wasn't about me. It's not about us. It's about us wanting our older children not to go through anything we went through. And we don't want the guilt on us. I can share this on one of my clients. She was going through with her daughters. They weren't speaking to her. And she was telling me, but I did this and I did that. And I let her talk. And when she finished, I said, you're telling me everything you did, and you think in your heart, you think you've done the best things for them. Is that what I'm hearing? She said, yes. I said, did you ever listen to what they needed from you? Because you may have done everything that you thought they needed, but they didn't need what you was giving them. They needed something different from you. So if you don't have the courage to sit down with your children and ask them flat out, what did you need from me that you didn't get from me? And just listen. And when they finish, all you should say is, I'm so sorry that I wasn't there for you. Please forgive me, and let's move on from here.
And with that, listen, we're going to go to a break. We're going to come back, and we're going to talk about something that I saw about the difference between fear and anxiety. We will talk about that. Okay, commercial break. We'll be right back with Dr. It just falls off my lips.
It rolls off his tongue.
Dr. Deborah Blakey, right here.
Beats that drove that home.
Stories of love, of strength, of pride. Giving back, standing tall, side by side. We are the rhythm, we are the voice. Community rising, making bold choice. On short drive, we shine, we soar. Bay magazine, forever, evermore.
Like he in charge.
Exactly. We are back, and I'm so glad that our audience, you all can be with us on today. I'm telling you, we are having such a wonderful conversation with this beautiful author, Miss Deborah Blakely.
Deborah.
That's all right.
I'm so sorry, Deborah Blakely.
Blakey, no L.
He messed
That's
with
okay,
you.
because when we leave here,
I
will deal with them.
Promises.
You'll see. Anyway, back to our show. We want you guys to write us, and we want you all to comment on the shows and all that we've been having and presenting towards you. We want you all to know that we care about you, and it's about you. And we're not the only ones that have been going through some stuff, but you all have been going through some stuff. And I'm telling you, for the past couple of weeks, we've had some amazing men and women to come in here and talk to us about either marriage, about children, about ourselves, about growing up, and all those things. And we're learning so much on the table on today. So beyond the vows, we're going beyond the vows.
Yeah,
All right.
And it's
Awesome.
not just talking about marital vows.
Right.
We vows to each other, vows to ourselves, and that's why we created this show. So, Doc, I was looking at something that I think is really important: fear versus anxiety, and how people may get those things mixed up. Okay, and what I was thinking about, you said fear is you see a lion, and that lion's right in front of you. That's fear. And then anxiety is thinking I might see a lion. Anxiety. Same thing in like in a relationship or marriage. Is I hear so many people, I'm so afraid that you're gonna leave me. That's anxiety.
That's anxiety.
Not
That's
fear. Fear. If he says if I'm leaving, I said, oh my God, he's left, she's left, I'm scared.
Yeah, that's where the fear comes in.
Talk about that.
That is so true. So people get it confused all the time. Like a lot of times they come in here, like if I'm going to do this show and I'll be like, oh my God, I'm so fearful. I'm not fearful. I'm anxious.
Anxious, right.
I might be having anxiety. I'm going to share something personal that happened to me just a couple of months ago. I was literally driving home from seeing my daughter. She had a lot of trouble with this, her current pregnancy. I have a new granddaughter. Her name is Jadenella, and she was born at 29 weeks. However, my daughter kept and was having to go into the hospital a lot, right? She lives in Richmond. I was driving home from Richmond from seeing her, and a 18-wheeler sideswiped me. I mean, I'm driving, he just sideswiped me and kept going. He kept going. But God, this young man pulled up beside of me and said, "You follow me." I saw everything, right? When he got to me, my whole body was shaking. I went into like a panic, a shock. I couldn't think to call 911, anything. Ever since then, this is where I want to share about fear and anxiety. Ever since then, my hand shakes. So when I hold my hand out, my hand shakes. I could let that stop me from doing things because people see my hand shaking, you know, and that's the kind of, oh, they're going to judge me, you know, because my hand is shaking, especially doing something like this or something like yesterday, you know. But here's the deal. Fear, as you said, is present. So fear is this big lion. This is the big lion. Okay, that's fear I'm feeling. Okay. Me imagining that the lion's coming, that's anxiety. And whatever we think about, so I'm going to use me as an example. So if I'm more worried about my hands shaking, and that's in my mind, and I'm trying to talk my mind into stopping from my hands from shaking, guess what's going to happen? They're going to shake more. Whatever you think about is what's going to happen. So what I do, I say, you know what? I had a traumatic experience that made my hands shake, and my hands are still shaking, but it's okay because nothing's going to stop me from doing what God has called me to do. So fear and anxiety, two totally separate things. When you feel fear, so God called you to write a book, but you say, I'm scared. I'm fearful. You're not fearful. You're having anxiety because you didn't write the book. So it's not fear. It's anxiety. It's okay to have anxiety. That shows that you're humble. So it's okay. But it's not okay not to write the book because guess what? People are out there that God prepared to hear your voice. And now that you're not writing, some people can't get healed because it's only your voice they're going to follow. So start journaling and get your book.
And there's so many, I'm sorry, baby. And there's so many of that in the grave today. Some of the 100%. Greatest authors are in the grave. Some of the greatest poets, some of the greatest musicians, some of the greatest community organizers are in the grave today because they didn't take that step and go beyond that anxiety and do just what you have said. I mean, I've had a fear of, I wanted to write a book about my life, you know, and I told, we were on a show last week before last, about marriage, ministry, and business. And at the end of the broadcast, the facilitator, young man that was their show, began to say how I had affected his life. And he kept talking, and I was trying to figure out who is he talking about, you know? And then I made a statement. I said, if people knew everything I've done, they wouldn't even want to hear me. They wouldn't even want to come see me, you know, let alone be around me. And that had been my fear of putting out my truths. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking my truths can actually deter somebody from doing the same thing that I did because I've grown from them.
Absolutely.
And then I told my wife, I was on this forgiveness tour for so long because first I didn't want my children to keep seeing me the same way they knew me. I didn't want other people to keep seeing me the way that they had heard. When you talk about words hurting, words are also transferable because one person says it, somebody else hears it, they're gonna keep talking about it. So even at my advanced age, you know, I'm almost going to be 67 in a couple months. Is that I'm still a work in progress, and I still have that book in me.
Yes.
You know, I just want to get. I want to get. I guess when we think about that, we think people are going to judge us. You know, but that's when we let people live rent free in our head.
That's exactly right. So what you got to do is think about the people it's going to help. Like I said yesterday, if you take a sheet of paper and you draw a line down the middle, and on one side you write, what's the cost of me not writing this book? Excuse me. On the other side, what's the cost of me writing this book? I guarantee you the cost of writing the book is going to be so much longer than not, because you're going to help so many people. Not writing the book is not, you can't help anybody, not even yourself. Because when I wrote Beautifully Broken, it was my own journey. It was my own healing. I was getting healed from places that I had suppressed. And my book coach would ask me certain questions. She would go, Deborah, what you said here is awesome, but you're holding back. And I would just, tears would just be flowing down my face, because I'm like, she's going to really make me write this. And God was like, no, I'm going to make you write this. So there's a lot of things in Beautifully Broken that I didn't want to write. I didn't want to share. You know, people see me in a different way. Right. People see me how I am now. They didn't know me as her. The one that wasn't healed, empowered, and restored. Right? But all of that is a testimony to help my sister, to help even my brother. Like, my heart is for women. It is. I just have a heart to help women transform into that woman God created them to be, because there's so much more in us than we even know. But I also can help men along the way too. It's just that my heart is for women, and I speak, you know, a lot to women so they can get out of their own way, right? So a lot of times we lose our voice, we lose our identity, and my framework is that the battlefield is in your identity. The reason I say that is because your self-image is what you're going to portray out to the world. So the battlefield is in your identity. Yes, the battlefield is also in our minds, but for me, this is how I feel. The root cause is your identity. When someone asks you, well, who are you? You know what people tell them? What they do. Because they don't know who they are.
That's true.
So you say, well, who are you?
Right.
You start talking about what you do. Because deep down inside, you've lost your identity, especially a lot of women. I can't speak for men, but I can speak for, you know, women. Most of my clients, when I asked that question, got quiet. I had to dig and go deep in order for them to share with me. And I made them go deep so they knew exactly who they were. I don't want to tell you who you are. I want you to tell me so it sticks. And so then once I did that, I made them do the mirror work. So you write it down. I am, because I am powerful words. Whatever you say after I am, that's what you are. Right? So I stop my daughter, my children, anytime they say I am broke, rebuke it. Rebuke your words. You know, because I am is so powerful. So you have to get your identity. So until my identity came through Christ and I see myself the way God sees me, I was not that confident woman that everybody thought I was. Behind that smile that I was giving people every day was a heart full of hurt, a heart full of pain, a heart full of uncertainty. I was really down on myself, but nobody knew it because guess what? I was the anchor. So if the anchor breaks, now what's going to happen, right? But I was pouring from an empty cup for a long time. My cup was so empty.
How did you get to that place of healing and being whole and confident? And I mean, because I mean, you said a lot today, a lot. But how did you get there? Because people, it takes people years to actually really heal, from their trauma or divorce or separation of children or whatever the case is. It takes them years to get there. How did you get there?
Yeah,
and
that's what in your title of your book.
Yep.
Becoming Her. How did you become her?
I invested in myself. I stopped investing in purses and shoes and furniture and everything else, and I began to invest in myself. And what that means is I took coaching classes. My coaching classes I took for me. I needed to be coached out of what I was going through. I had a therapist that I had to have to get through the hurt and pain that I suppressed of my mom passing, because I carried that pain with me for years. For years, I carried that pain. For years, I thought I was going to die when I turned 40 for some reason. Oh, wow. My mom was 32 when she passed away. I was 13. I don't know where 40 came from, but I had it in my head that at 40 I was going to die. So I was living like I was going to die at 40. Jesus. Now, I invested so much in myself because I know that God has been with me the whole time. God was teaching me how to be a leader at 13 when I had to, and I didn't realize that until decades later, right? Mm-hmm. But to answer your question, I made a decision. I literally made a decision that I am more than what I've been through. I am so much more than what people have done to me, what a man has done to me. I'm so much more than that. So how do I get all this hurt and this pain? I went to God. I prayed a lot, but I invested in coaches and in a therapist and just kept going. There's been certain times that I know that the trauma I was feeling made me work so much harder because I didn't want to think about the trauma. So for example, I was in my 50s when I got my bachelor's degree in human services. Then after that, I got my master's in business administration while I was taking a coaching class from Health Coach Institute while I was working at I was working at Marshall's as a store manager, 12-hour days.
That's a lot.
You know why I was doing all of that? I was going through so much trauma. I didn't want to have no time to think about nothing I was going through. Right. I didn't want to think about that I was hurting inside. I wanted to be the confident woman everybody else saw when I walked in the room. Yeah.
But did that take away your time with your kids and your grandchildren?
Yes.
So how do
yes, you, and that's what I had to sit with them and apologize for. Wow. And I shared what meant more to me in Beautifully Broken than anything else is when my granddaughter and my daughter crying. I'm about to cry. And they said to me, I understand you better now.
Wow.
I understand. My daughter said, Mom, she said, don't doubt yourself. You was a great mom. She said, and my granddaughter, she said, Grandma, I understand you so much better since I read your book.
Wow.
If nobody else read it, that within itself,
that's enough right
there. Is what I needed. And I believe that that's why God was sharing with me, you're not just broken, you are beautifully broken. Because my heart has always been for people, right? I just love people, and I love God's people. I love serving. That's my heart.
Mm-hmm.
And to be hurt so many times, I was like, what is wrong with me? But I know now, there ain't nothing wrong with me.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with me.
Oh, Lord have mercy.
I am beautifully and wonderfully made.
I know that's right.
That is. Doc, talk about the lioness within.
So, The Lioness, these two books go together. Beautifully Broken and The Lioness Within.
Okay.
The Lioness Within it's what is called a outcome journal.
Mhm.
It will help you put your own thoughts. I share some things about me, but it will help you to think about what it is that you need to forgive yourself for. Who do you need to forgive?
Mhm.
And how do you need to walk this out? Because a lioness is a fierce protector
Yes.
of their families.
Mm-hmm.
They have
I
courage.
married one.
Yep. They have strength. They have power. So that's where the lioness within came from, because after the brokenness came the lioness.
Mm.
We are lioness.
This is wonderful.
That's the beautiful lioness.
Yes.
That's
So what's next?
What's next? I believe that, I do want to do a YouTube.
Okay.
But y'all, I told you I'm 67, right? Somebody need to help me.
you come to the right place.
Somebody need to help me.
Yeah.
I do want to do a YouTube because I want to be able to answer questions, for like my book. I do want people, as you get the book, when you read it, DM me any questions. On my social media platforms as I am Coach Deborah. I will be looking forward to your feedback.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to be able to speak on stages.
Mhm.
I think that is going to be next. Whatever God, tells me to. God's plan is so much bigger than what our plan is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Now, when I wrote Through the Fire, I didn't think I was going to write another book. God was like, you're not finished.
Wow.
So God will just like download stuff, and I'm like, hold on. And I know I'm not the only one that when God is speaking to you and it be so good and you be like, oh, I know I'm gonna remember this, and get home
And forget
and
it.
don't know nothing he said.
Mm-hmm.
Girl, that I get so mad about that.
And that's your bookmark.
Yes,
Lioness.
I give a bookmark free with every book.
Yes. Wow. Well, you you came to the right place, because this is something that really, I mean, I've been divorced 3 times, so being that has happened, was each of the divorces traumatic that you took something into the next marriage?
Okay. My first marriage, like I said, I was with my oldest son's father for 14 years of my life. He was my first love, my only love.
Mhm.
14 years. We were common law, Pennsylvania, right?
Right.
The first time I walked down the aisle is with my daughter and my youngest son's father. And yes, I took hurt and pain into that wedding that I didn't know I was carrying.
Wow.
When I first met him, everything that I wanted my oldest son, I call him JMO, his name is James.
Mhm.
Everything I wanted his dad to be to me and for me,
Mhm.
he was, right?
Right.
So I thought I was head over heels in love with him.
Mm-hmm.
I thought I was. We were only married for 5 years because I began to grow into healing. I wasn't healed.
Healing.
I didn't know that I wasn't healed from him. I wasn't healed from him. What happened is when he started giving me and showing me everything that I wanted, it was almost like I got so excited. And maybe, in the back of my mind, okay, I got what I want now. That's what I've always wanted. Mm-hmm. But I wanted it from my oldest son's father.
So you could accept it, basically.
So 2 years in, I really realized I wasn't in love.
Ooh.
I loved him.
Wow.
I did. But I wasn't in love. And everybody knows there's a total difference between being in love with someone and loving someone.
Wow.
And that was really tough because I felt horrible that I knew I couldn't stay because I wasn't saved back then either. Mm-hmm. Right? And realized that I wasn't in love with my husband. That it was terrible.
Oh my God. Mm-mm-mm.
It was terrible. Now, I never told him that, but things just happen. And I believe in marriages, if you don't communicate, right, you're going to outgrow one, is going to outgrow the other.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And I believe that's why a lot of marriages break up, because if we're not communicating daily, right, I'm growing. This is what happened in my third marriage. Yeah. I'm growing because now I'm in Christ. My mind is being renewed.
Right.
I'm getting excited. I got joy and I don't even know why.
Right.
I might not be happy about everything that's going on, but I'm around here just smiling and just joyful. Right? Yeah. But you over here and you want to know why I'm so happy. No, why you so sad? Right? So I'm growing and he's not.
Wow.
So now we don't have nothing in common.
There's a disconnect.
We don't have anything in common anymore because you can't even talk to me. You're taking everything I say and you're changing my words around. I know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
So it came to a point when I would say, all right, this is what you think I'm saying. I said, now you tell me if I'm right or wrong. I said, this is what you think I'm saying to you. And he would go, yes. I said, okay, but this is what I'm saying to you. But that's what you mean. So now you're going to tell me.
I try to change your words.
What I mean when I just told you. I know, because he kept saying, you don't know what I mean. I know what you mean. I just told you back what you meant. Right. But you're not understanding me. And that's because the growth mindset wasn't there.
Wow.
Right? Wow. My mind and my spirit and my soul was taken off. And his was staying the same.
Wow. Well, you know what? This has been God ordained. And you said a word yesterday, Godfidence.
I said Godfidence.
Godfidence.
I said
not confidence.
Not confidence, but Godfidence.
Y'all remember that. Godfidence. G-O-fidence. Okay? G-O-D-fidence. Yeah.
G-O-D.
Listen, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. We're going to have you back. We're thanking God in advance for that YouTube tutorial. Where there's so many platforms. You come to the right place. Yeah, we got you. So tell everybody your website and everybody how they can get in touch with you.
So to get in touch with me, again, all my social media platforms is I am Coach Deborah. And my website for my books is DeborahBlakey.com. So we wanted to keep everything simple.
Yep,
so if you go to DeborahBlakey.com, all my books, t-shirts, candles, cups, whatever you need. And if there's something that's not there, DM me. We'll get it.
Gotcha. Guys, these are this is my hand right here. You know what I'm saying? You play spades with these. Renee.
What you gonna do with him, girl?
Listen, thank you all so much for joining us here with Dr. Blakey, and this has been such fun. But join us again next week, right? Here on the Beyond the Vows at the SKST TV studios here in Virginia Beach. We love you, and we'll see you next week.
SKST Radio, street grind entertainment. Beats by bro, yeah, we bring the flavor and the payment. All on the same network, moving with precision. Cater to the public, that's the mission and the vision. 3 companies, 1 vision, 1 sound, 1 team. From the streets to the